Hello and welcome to my video log on my YouTube channel. And please subscribe, hit the bell, and give me a like if you like this message. Today we are going to talk about a psychograph message, as it says, from the great Brazilian medium Chico Xavier to a medium in Brazil. Now, let me give you some context and some warnings. I received this message via text message on April 2nd, 2020. I did not see the exact date when it was psychographed. Now, it said in the message it was psychographed in March 2019, so about a year previously. It also did not say who was the medium who communicated with the spirit to psychograph it. The message says it was sent by Chico to a medium. Now, let me tell you everyone straight up, in Brazil, most people are very suspectful about messages that say they're coming from Chico Xavier because he was such a famous medium. I want to give you all that. So I'm not quite sure where it came from. I'm not exact sure of the date, and it's a message from Chico. But why am I talking about it then? I am so unsure. Because it seems so relevant. And it's especially to our current situation. Now let me place this all into context, and you'll know more about why I decided to tell everyone about this message. Now, first, you must know about Chico's prophecy concerning the time period from July 1969, if you remember that's when men went to the moon, to July 2019. Chico told us that the spirit world gave us 50 years to not have any nuclear conflict because they thought our advancement in technology to send men to the moon was ahead of our moral and spiritual development. But that after 50 years, then the Earth would begin to journey to really improve and move toward a planet of regeneration. We have been told the same type of things from other mediums. The Reverend G. Val Owen was told by spirits in the early 1900s that the Earth itself was moving away from materialism to spiritualism, and that this would take a quite a long time, but the ship would turn. And also, they told the Reverend G. Val Owen that in the past, when the society and technology of men was more advanced than their spiritual morality, that society was destroyed. And they gave examples of Lemuria and Atlantis. And they said some other actually happened, but I have not seen even a mythical statement about that. So, given all that, right, Chico said if we don't have nuclear war in that 50-year time frame, 1969, 2019, then we would be given a wonderful journey to the next step. We would start our step to the planet of regeneration, which many spiritists say that we really started around the year 2000. We started that probably because the spirit world saw that we were going to make that time frame. They always see these things in advance. So accordingly to Chico, we gave the 50-year time frame, and a lot of wonderful things would happen if we went past it, and we did go past it. Now, this message was posted in March 2019, so then it would just be, 4 months or so until July when we would pass it for real, right? Actuality. So last year, we passed the 50-year mark. Now, I will post this also in the text of this YouTube, and I'll also post it on my blog site, nwspiritism.com, so everybody can read it for themselves, digest it for themselves. And I'll put it right here up on the screen. So this is what the message says. Chico Xavier, beloved brothers, this is not a prophecy of dear Chico. He just psychographed a message from the spiritual plane. Now this may mean that it's another spirit that's taking information from Chico and saying, okay, this is what Chico said, I'm going to give it to a medium. I'm not sure, but that's kind of what it sounds like. Announcing the arrival of a new era. We are already experiencing part of this arrival, and if the world planet Earth manages to arrive until July 21st, 2019, without starting the Third World War, which means no nuclear war, we will have an era of light. Many are being withdrawn because they are not ready for an era of brotherhood and greater forgiveness. Some need to go back and help us in the new phase. Okay, let me stop there and explain what he's saying. And I could go on forever with this, so you might want to look up what I've said about how Spiritism says the apocalypse will happen. Now, in many Christian belief that the apocalypse is something that's going to happen here on Earth, and they're going to take the right and the left, right? They're going to, spread everybody out and separate those who deserve to go to heaven and those who don't. Well, what Spiritism tells us is that as people who go through life after life, right? We believe in reincarnation, the laws of karma. Those who refuse to improve themselves after given many, many lifetimes, because God is great, right? We get a lot of chances, but those who are not ready to go to an advanced planet that's in the sentence, many are withdrawn, will be taken from the Earth, the campus called Earth, right? We're in the school, and sent to another planet that is still a planet either of atonement or even maybe a primitive planet. Well, they will be given new chances to improve. Now, the second, some need to go back and help us in the new phase. There are people who will die of maybe this pandemic or other things that you will say, oh, he died so early and such a nice woman or man or, whatever, just what a nice person. And it's too bad that person had to pass away. Well, what's happening is, yes, that person's a nice person, and they're being taken off the earth so they can get ready to come back rather quickly to help the earth in the next phase. So they'll be given probably leadership positions or some sort of moral or teaching, whatever type of positions that will help move society to where it needs to go. So you're having people taken off because they're not going to fit here anymore, one group. You're having people taken off because they're going to be needed for the next phase. Next sentence. We are experiencing a phase of cleansing, saying, right? The ones who don't belong here are out. Many collective deaths are taking place, and by mid-April, nature will manifest itself. So very interesting. So now this says mid-April, but again, I am always suspect of anything that has exact dates. But this was done in March 2019. Now, nothing really happened mid-April of 2019, but a lot is certainly happening or will happen. Right now it's just April 3rd. It has happened since January with China first seeing the pandemic, and then the deaths are really going up in the rest of the world in April. So, again, take this as you like. I want to report this because I think it's just so pertinent. So many collective deaths are taking place, and by mid-April, nature will manifest itself. Many people are feeling the need to seek more nature and get out of the stress of big cities and companies. We've all seen that. Many are connecting much more strongly with animals and feeling an immense desire for more brotherly love and to practice that love more. We're seeing this. This is, again, in other messages that I have on videos and I've publicized on this site. They're telling us the reason the spirit world has sent this pandemic is, one, is just as this message says, some people need to be taken off. But two, is to get people to be less materialistic, to understand that our life here is transitory and that what are the important things, coming home and really discovering what is important in your life. Now the next, many are having headaches, back pain, are sensitive to easy crying, feeling out of place, and even insomnia. But with all this, they feel that something good is coming. I have seen this reported by people. I've had emails report. I've had comments on my video saying, another Facebook page saying, I can't sleep. I don't know what's going on, but I know something's going on. So I am seeing this, I think other people are probably seeing this right now. And so, I mean, this is why I'm putting this message out, because it's so spot on. These people are sensitive because, in a way, they are part of this new phase on Earth. So if you're one of those that just feel like, why am I emotionally upset? Why am I on edge? Well, what is going on? Because, look, what Spiritism tells us, that when we move from a planet of atonement, where we are now, right, where we pay for our past wrongs, to a planet of regeneration, where there's a lot less evil, war, and bad, chaotic things on Earth, it will be done because the vibration and harmony of our collective human life and the planet itself will change. And therefore, you are feeling those changes in vibrations and harmony. You're sensitive to all this coming up. So if you're feeling, strange, you're not feeling, balanced like you used to feel balanced, your chakras seem out of place, because you're probably more sensitive than the most of us, and you're detecting this change in the vibration. So let me carry on. This is very interesting. We are being worked by spirituality for mental expansion, leaving the feelings of the third dimension to go to the fourth or fifth dimension, according to the evolution of each one. Unfortunately, many will not be able to practice forgiveness at this moment, or have a connection with nature with ease. These brothers, if they are not taken to colonies with a vibrational pattern equal to theirs, will be here in real existential chaos, feeling angry, sad, and more. These brothers, if they stay or leave, will always have divine mercy to seek light and love, but only those who allow themselves to practice gratitude and brotherly love and forgiveness can receive the graces of the new age. So let me take both of those little paragraphs. So they're working in spirituality for mental expansion. Now, what's interesting in this, again, it makes me suspect this, leaving the feelings of the third dimension to go to the fourth or fifth, according to the evolution of each one. I have not seen those words, the third, the fourth or fifth dimension, according to the evolution of each one. I've not seen those words in Spiritist writings. So I just want to tell you that. But I've seen it in a lot of other writings as far as getting higher and higher in spirituality. So I want to say that. Now, the next paragraph, many will not be able to practice forgiveness. That is, again, he's restating what I've said before, that people who refuse to learn in life after life, their vibrational patterns and their body will be more dense. They won't be on the same vibrational pattern as the planet of regeneration. And therefore, according to the law of affinity, they should go to where there are others like them. Now, it doesn't mean, as this message just said, that someday they'll see the light, they'll improve themselves, they'll get on that spiritual track and just zoom up, right? No, but right now, if they're not ready, then they really need to go somewhere else, because they won't feel right. Again, as I talked in my books like Heaven and Below and my other books, is when a spirit tries to get to the next level, if they're not ready for that next level, they're very uncomfortable. It's too bright. It's the vibration and harmony just can't fit them. They won't feel right. And this is what's happening to these people that will stay on Earth. If they really want to stay, then they better change and elevate themselves. I'll carry on. When observing tragedies, pray, cheer for everyone, but never forget that even though it hurts, a leaf will never fall without God allowing. Again, this has been said, other messages that I have done recently, is for us to look at our lives as you would through a Spiritist lens. And when I say a Spiritist lens, is that we live multiple lives. Our time on Earth, well, to us, it seems like a week is forever, sometimes, especially when you're locked in your house. But actually, it's not. One life, when you divide that into infinity, is a really small percent, or actually, almost zero. It's not that big. So when people come and go from life, right, these things happen, and it's a big deal for us. It's very emotionally trying, and God bless everyone who's gone through this. But if you look at it and know that everything is God's plan, and God's plan, the spirit world's plan, is for each one of us to improve. And all the trials and tribulations that we're going through, even if there's tribulations that are caused by this, this current pandemic, is all for the best for that person. Because they will go back to the spirit world and they will be put in a place they belong so they can improve and more efficiently for what they need to be done. As I said before, as this message said before, some people need to go because they're going to be prepared to come back rather quickly. So, continue on. With all your heart, vibrate daily for light, love, and forgiveness. Avoid being with people with negative thoughts. Don't watch gossip programs, newspapers, shows that promote tragedies. And almost you can read that and say, what else is there on TV practically? So this is good advice, right? Watch good, wholesome movies. Watch programs that, that actually try to teach you something, documentaries. Don't watch, we've been watching a lot in our home, older movies that we found. So it's been much nicer. And don't believe the news. There's just so much, it's all clickbait, right? To try to get you to come and watch that news more. Now, get away from any feeling contrary to brotherly love, of course. Cheer for the arrival of the new era and be grateful to be here. It is deserving. And, of course, that is the end of the message. So, I just wanted to bring this to you. I wanted to try to explain it in the context that we had finished that 50-year time frame. And so this is telling us these things are happening. Now, I've also had, these other messages I've had. You can search in my YouTube channel. They're telling us the same thing, right? Which is, it's one part is sad, one part's exciting. The sad part is we're going through this pandemic. We're going through this collective kind of, wave of stimulus over our emotions. But there's an exciting part too. And the exciting part is something's really happening to start moving us from this planet of chaos and, cruelty and, good things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people from our kind of our point of view before we became Spiritists. But now we're really seeing things are happening to move this planet to a higher plane. I don't believe this will be the last, right? I think there'll be other things. This is not going to be like, we're going to have this pandemic and everything's going to be smooth. No, this is just, look, the human race, as I'm sure as everybody knows, we are slow learners. We have to be told over and over again. I know I have been, because I've been told I have been not a very good person for life after life after life. So, but the spirit world will keep designing our trials. So some sort of stimuli will hit each one of us independently, so we will start making that leap. And that's what all I want you to do. And that's why I have written my books, is to enable you to understand about the spirit world. And the more you understand about the spirit world and understand what your place is here on earth in this physical world, the better it can be for you to change yourself if that is what you want. And that's why I recommend my book, Heaven and Below, first in the series of 3 books, then Spirit in the Spirit Universe, and then How We Are Guided by Spirits. Because I try to explain from writings by from spirits of G. Val Owen, to Chico Xavier, to Divaldo Franco, and others, exactly what is around us and why we are here. Because the more you can learn and decide for yourself, because only you can motivate yourself, the better you can determine how you want to change your character and your attitude, so you too can stay here on earth and be part of this wonderful transformation from a planet of atonement to a planet of regeneration. God bless.